Hi, welcome to the workshop on campus to corporate. Why is this important? Right now, this campus to corporate program is done when people finish their degree and then join any corporate. At that point of time, it comes as a part of the induction program. I've been a part of many induction programs doing this campus to corporate workshops in many of the MNCs which I've worked in my past 13 years. This program talks about how we can groom a professional from a college atmosphere. But this program, bringing it to the college, I think it is one of the most mind-blowing things, because students already know what corporates expect and then get ready for themselves. Otherwise, students are into a state of shock whenever they go through this particular program, because it is totally a mind shift from their campus atmosphere into a corporate atmosphere. By going through this program, the benefit they get is they understand what is the expectation of a corporate, and then start grooming them accordingly, or start preparing themselves to suit for specific corporates. So this campus to corporate program, in my view, should start from college, and then it's a great advantages for companies coming for campus to understand that the college is investing on their students already to become better corporates. Fantastic program. Let's talk about little more details what this program contains. The campus mileage, we call this as a campus mileage program. One of the most important topic is called as important of having goals. I have a small son who is 7 years old. When I go him and ask, what is your goal in life? He says, I want to be a pilot. I have a niece who's finished her 10th standard. I go and ask her, what is your goal in life? She says, I want to really finish plus 2 with a very good percentage of mark. I have another third cousin. When I go to him and ask, what is your goal in life? He says, I want to join engineering or do an MBA or take up some other scientific profession. But when I go and ask this particular question to many corporate friends, what is your goal in life? They don't know. They've just been taught to finish their education, get into a corporate, earn some money, and after that, they don't know what they have to do in life. Think about Usain Bolt, the great sprinter, running a 100 meters race without a destination. It is like most of us just running without a goal in life. So for success, it is very important to have goals. So how to have goals for each and every person, for each and every student, or each and every corporate citizen to get ahead in life. When we talk about people moving from ordinary to extraordinary, extraordinary people have clear goals. That's what we talk about, SMART goals, where S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable, R stands for realistic, and T stands for time bound. If my goal is going to be so specific, measurable, realistic, and time bound, I have a lot of clarity what I have to really achieve and start achieving. So it is important for each one of us to have the goals. This is one important message we try to communicate in this program. Second, response versus reaction. So whenever we are reacting when a communication is happening, there are chances to fail. But whenever a response is going to happen, the communication is going to be successful. For example, let's assume the small story which talks about a 90-10. We always feel that 90% of things which happens to us is because of atmosphere, surroundings, and others. That's called as 90-10. Let me give you a short story. Let's assume Ram is an MBA student and he has to really give a project presentation the next day. So the previous day, Ram gets a nice white shirt, got a tie and a new blazer, and keep it ready for the next day's project presentation. The next day at 7 o'clock in the morning, he dresses in his nice white shirt with a black pant, nicely ironed shirt and pant, with a shoe, and then walks down the stairs to have his breakfast. And along with Ram, his brother Sammy is also sitting very close. Sammy is just 8 years old and is watching a cricket match just opposite to him. So Ram is sitting, Sammy is sitting, both are sitting next to each other. They were both having breakfast and watching the match. The match is a India-Pakistan match and Virat Kohli is playing. And at that point of time, they're nice having some good idli and dosas in their plate. Their mother is serving them a very hot coffee for both of them for Sammy and Ram. Sammy, who is a die-hard Virat Kohli fan, looks at the match. So there is one ball, he has to hit a sixer. So Virat Kohli hits the ball goes very high in the air towards the boundary, and just before the boundary, the Pakistan player catches the ball. Sammy is very disappointed. With all his disappointed, he bangs the table. Once he bangs the table, the coffee just goes up in the air, and the coffee just pours into Ram's beautiful white shirt. Ram was able to see that coffee just coming to his white shirt. At that point of time, his entire white shirt is getting converted to a brown shirt. Ram is terrified, very angry with his brother, gives a big slap to his brother, gets into an argument again. His mother is disappointed with Ram for hitting his brother. They have a long argument. Then Ram goes to the staircase, changes his shirt, and then comes back. By the time the Sammy school bus just left, because of this particular argument, Sammy was not able to catch the school bus. Sammy's mother comes and says, Ram, it's all because of you. You better go and drop Sammy. So Ram has to actually go to the college at 7:30. Already it is 6:30 in the morning. Ram takes Sammy as per mother's advice, goes into the car and goes very fast. And at that point of time, he didn't see a red signal, crosses a red signal, there's a police person coming. The police person stops him and then asks him for a fine. He gives a fine. Again there is a delay, goes and leaves Sammy at the school bus stop, and then goes forward into the college. At that point of time, entering the college, because of all this tension, Ram forgets his ID card. So security wants him, gets a duplicate ID card, and before he's able to go to the presentation, the project presentation is already over, and Ram loses all his marks. This is called as reaction to a communication. Instead of that, if we can really understand how Ram can respond to turn this entire situation, then 90% of things which happens in the world is only because of us, and only 10% is because of others, because of this response reaction which he will understand in this workshop. The third part talks about the importance of teamwork and trust. In a corporate atmosphere, nobody talks about individual performance much. Everybody talks about team's performance. So I might be a very strong player, and other person might be a weak player, but he might have his strengths. How to really respect individual in terms of people and time, and how to really develop a trusting relationship to achieve the team goals. This is what we will insist in this program on importance of teamwork and trust. Now, next is developing interpersonal relationship. That is the most key aspect. How do you really make your manager understand what are your personality, your strengths, your weakness, how to really get really good feedback from the management team as well as with respect to your peers, how to get challenges, understand the challenges and negative feedback for you to improve yourself, how to kill off all the egos, and then work on one thing at one point of time to help you continuously improve, how to really build a very strong relationship with your manager, with your subordinates, with your peers, is what we talk about in developing interpersonal relationships. And then the most important thing which I have personally experienced, that everybody in today's world is a consumer and not a contributor. What is a consumer? A consumer is a person who waits for information, who waits for opportunities, who complains about the surroundings, who says that I can't do this because I don't have this. But a contributor is a person who tries to add value to each and everything he comes across. A small child moving a big tree in a Times of India ad, I think you would have seen that particular ad, is becoming a contributor. I think there's an accident in the road, somebody who's crossing the road falls into an accident, but somebody else comes and really helps him. That person becomes a contributor. Your team is really suffering, not able to finish on deadlines. You try to help your team, becomes a contribution. So how each individuals can become a contributor instead of a consumer is what we talk about in Campus Mileage program. And the most important is how to build visibility. Probably you might be a great performer, but it is important for you to build visibility so that others can also know. It is like any other product. You can have any other product like a Sony television, which is fantastic, but if there is no advertisements or visibility on the Sony televisions, you might not be able to buy it. So it is important that to have the performance, at the same time build visibility. which most of the people in the corporate do not know how to build visibility. That's why they don't grow up the ladder at all. Yeah. And the last but not the least, we talk about the power of influence. How can we start influencing our surroundings depending upon our needs? How can we be open for feedbacks and then work on the feedback which help us to continuously improve better and better and better? So how can I not only work on being how can I be competent, but how I also can be an effective influencer? If you see all the corporate leaders, more than their competence, they are high influencers. People realize very late in the corporate life the power of influencing. This is what we're going to educate you in this program called as Campus to Corporate program. Thank you.